Okay, I'm gonna demo using these quarter size slopers, the added flare skirt. We're gonna start off much like we did for the basic flare. So keeping our lines that we're about to make parallel with the centers, we want to start at the dart tip and bring that line down to the hem. So that gives us two parallel lines, but within the name of the pattern that we want to get to, we want it to be the added flare. So we want to add one more panel, which allows us to fan this out even more. I'm going to add my panel nearest the side seam. The distance you want to keep equal to the panel width that you have here between the two darts. Again, I'm working in quarter scale. This is nearly half an inch. Oops. Okay, the other major contributing factor that gives us this added flare, which you'll see here in a moment, is we're going to cut through these dart tips. You know, this is a good stage to go ahead and label this. So I'm going to just say B1, B2, B3, and B4. And here's the skirt front. So I'm going to say F1, F2, F3, and F4. Just if things should get rearranged here on the board. Again, through the dart tip. Now we're pivoting from the waist. So for this piece, it is actually okay not to cut through and just cut here. So we have a pivot point. I'm going to work on the back body first. So before, when we were doing the basic flare, it was all about slashing and closing these dart points. This is going to be a little different in that we want to control the spacing between the bottom hem of each panel. So I'm going to start off here. I'm going to tape my B4. It's just my side seam of the back. And this keeps this still while I go to pivot this panel here. Now on an actual size sloper, this distance would be maybe 5 inches. Let's do 1.25 inches. That looks nice. And just use tape to hold it in place. So I know that we've cut these separate, and that's because we want to eliminate the darts, but we want our fullness to be shifting from the waist rather than the dart point. So I'm aiming for 1.25 inches here. The main thing is we want to keep this waist aligned. So if you have to shift your ruler to be able to find that measurement, do so. Okay, one more piece. So again, we want to pivot from the waist to then find what I am adding, which is, again, the 1.25 inches. And really, this is designer's preference. Okay. So there is the back of my added flare. Now the one thing that we want to do is we want to balance this out at the side seam here. So to do that, you want to take half the measurement of what you've added in here, So I'll be adding 5/8 of an inch, which is half of what 1 1/4 inches is. This point will become my new side seam at hem. We want to blend that straight to the waist. And you're okay to eliminate this hip curve because you've added fullness within the hip here. You can fill in these gaps. Okay. I'm not going to demonstrate the front, but the front is the same as the back, so same exact concept. Pivot from the waist, add equal distance space at your hem, and then half of that number you want to balance here. And the reason it's half the number is because on the front, you're going to do the exact same, which then will equal back to that 1 1/4 inches that we've given here.